are you? Huh? I know you. I just don't feel like I know you. Am I real? And I feel like I'm floating. I almost feel high. I know I'm not. I'm real, right? You can see me? Yeah? You can see me? I thought I was going crazy for a minute. Maybe I am going crazy. I just feel so off. So sad. My body hurts. I wake up feeling this darkness. Now, I thought sleep was supposed to take this all away. I read that when you're asleep, the first few minutes when you wake up, your conscious mind takes a break and you have a few minutes to be present with your thoughts so that you can choose the good ones. The good filling fairies must overlook my bed when I sleep because I wake up with darkness. My reset button from happy to depressed must be broken.
It isn't.
Who are you?
I'm here to help you.
Help me with what?
Help you to understand why you feel the way you do.
You know what's wrong?
I do.
Well, tell me, how do I fix this?
First, we must re-examine your past.
Ah, fiddlesticks. No reason to look back.
Oh, that is a common misconception. Sometimes you need to look back in order to move forward.
The past is the past. You must let it rest.
It cannot rest until the truth of it can be seen. Sometimes you can reflect on the past without being in the past.
Okay, well, let's just get on with it, I guess.
Who do you see?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I should know, but I don't know, nothing feels right.
Oh, this is worse than I thought.
Oh no, am I dying?
No, quite the contrary.
I don't understand.
You see, parts or part of you have been exiled many, many years ago. Your system's way of protecting yourself. And now you are trying to remember. The parts, they are begging you to remember, rather. And until the parts that have been exiled can be brought forward, you cannot move on.
You're losing me.
Let's go back and visit some familiar faces. Who is this?
Well, it's a little girl.
Yes. Do you remember her?
Yeah, I do remember her. She's 8. So young, vibrant, full of life.
Yes.
But that all changed. Almost overnight. By the time she was 10, her voice was silenced.
Why?
Alcohol, abuse, words, blood running down her face.
It's okay, go on.
Her parents were fighting in the bedroom. Her dad was drunk. He picked up a picture frame and he threw it. He wasn't aiming at anyone. But she ended up being the unintentional target. It hit her in the forehead. So blood running down her face. She waited for the yelling to stop. And with that, her childhood also stopped.
Well, what did she do?
She wanted to get help. What happens in this house stays in this house! That's what she was taught. So, blood running down her face, she waited for the yelling to stop. From that day forward, her view of the world will forever be altered.
Traumatic. And from that point forward, she felt as if she was being chased by a tiger, even though she didn't know it.
You know, she wanted to get help. She went to the school nurse. She told her that her dad drank, but the nurse got upset and sent her away. The ones that were supposed to protect her failed her.
A common occurrence, unfortunately. Just imagine the school shootings and the suicides that could have been prevented if only the adults would have listened.
Oh. I remember this too. 14 now. Such a beautiful soul, kind,
Yeah.
generous.
Yes.
This uniform, though, brought nightmares to her, even years after she took it off.
Why was that?
She was bullied, made fun of every day, cried every day after school for almost a year. She was constantly afraid she was going to hear that name they'd given her,
What name?
Many. And the worst, though, was Alpo. It was one day after school, after a pep rally, and she was in the locker room with the other cheerleaders. She heard this faint cry coming down the hallway. Alpo, Alpo, Alpo. The entire school was chanting it. She was mortified. She wanted to die in that moment. But instead she faked it. She acted like it didn't bother her the best she could. But all she really wanted to do was hide, to become invisible. You know, her mom wanted to stop it. But you stopped her. From that point forward, she just wanted to become invisible. She attempted to dim her light, to hide.
But a bright light can never be dimmed.
Maybe.
Who is this?
Oh, this one's easy. This is 22. Such a young age for marriage. She wasn't going to go through with it.
Well, why not?
He was an alcoholic, abusive. And she was going to call the wedding off, but he begged her not to, and her mom told her she wasn't the only one in the world with problems, so feeling alone without support, she chose to marry him.
Reinforcing the behavior that she knew.
Well, it was better for a few months into the marriage,
Yes.
until it wasn't. You're ugly. You're awful. Look at you. She'd be on her hands and knees begging him to stop with tears running down her face. And he kept going and going. He'd threaten her. Threaten to leave her, to take care of the house and the bills by herself. So she went through with it.
Is that what she did?
Well, eventually she left. It was on their 1-year anniversary in Vegas. She knew she'd file for a divorce soon. The flamingos danced on that fateful day. The decision was clear as the people played. Long stretch limo, blue suede shoes, brand new dress. There was no use. Nothing but darkness in his eyes. She told the truth, not one lie. She looked at him and walked away. The river came, her heart ached. And so the decision was clear as of yesterday. It had just been a year. The plane landed, they did depart. And with her, she took her heart.
Strength.
Yes.
Courage.
Shortly after that, she figured out that there was something deeper going on that she didn't yet understand.
The brain, you see, will develop patterns at a very young age. And until the root of those patterns can be discovered, it is very challenging to change, especially when there is sustained abuse and repeated behaviors.
It makes sense, I guess.
There is so much about the brain we do not understand. Let's talk about you.
No.
You say you don't feel real. You say you don't recognize yourself. You don't feel like yourself.
Yeah, it's all so confusing.
Panic attacks, not being able to do the things now that you could do at one point in your life.
Yeah, how do you know?
What about your childhood?
I don't know. I grew up in a small town, and I have siblings.
Your memories then?
I'm 40, I think. I don't know. Nothing seems right.
Your 20s?
I can't remember much.
Dissociative amnesia.
Huh?
Look at them. Perhaps they can help you.
How?
Look closer. Allow yourself to feel them. to be with them.
No, it's too much.
No. You are safe now. It is okay.
The me,
Parts of you.
I don't think I understand.
There is no rush. Allow yourself to become one with them, to be with them, to have faith. And like a phoenix, you will rise out of the ashes. I promise.
Who are you?
I am your future, your bright, integrated future.
Through the looking glass, I can see the other side. So many stories, all of which I know are mine. Some views are crystal clear, others a faint mist. Is it past or future? From choice to clarity to chance. It's a map. Down many roads it leads. Any direction I might go, they all lead back to what I see. They all lead back to me.